Greetings, earthy, mature, disciplined Capricorn. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader, and now I am going to do the January 2021 overview for the sign of Capricorn. And Happy New Year, Capricorn, and happy birthday, Capricorn. And I'm going to start with a tarot reading, and in the second half of the video, I'm going to do broad strokes of some of the planetary alignments that will be happening in January. I encourage you to follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole, where I will continue the conversation that I start here and fill in more details as the transits unfold. I do daily moon transits in my stories, and then in my feed when there are big planetary movements, I talk about that in more detail. So definitely follow me there. But in the meantime and in between time, watch the videos here for your sun sign and your rising sign. Your rising sign in particular for the second half of the video, because that is going to let you know which houses of your birth chart all of the planets fall in that I'm talking about. So anyway, as we enter the month of January, Capricorn, you have the Two of Wands reversed. So it looks like maybe there's a partnership that's not working out. You could not be seeing eye to eye with a partner or friend, or there could be, like a delay in a partnership forming, something like that, something to do with partnership being out of alignment. However, you were covered by the wish card, which looks like a wish come true. And you were crossed by the Tower, which is a huge paradigm shift. So it's looks like it's a really dynamic beginning of the month for Capricorn. The basis, 10 of Cups. So this is about happiness, fulfillment, family, abundance, the whole picture. What's leaving is the King of Pentacles reversed. So this is a man where there was a business or financial concern. And if it's not with a man, it could be with an establishment of some kind where there might have been, a possible disagreement around money or out of alignment business concern. Anyway, it's leaving. What could come into being is the Four of Cups reversed. So it looks like around mid-month you are launching a new hope or desire. What will come into being? Strength reversed, also around mid-month. Don't force it. Fears or insecurities, the 10 of Wands. So this is about the burden you're carrying, the load that you're carrying right now, and not being able to see the road ahead. Others see you. Looks like others see you as having an unexpected twist of fortune in a good direction. Your positive feelings. The Devil. Wow, Capricorn. Well, the Devil is a very Capricornian card anyway. It's a card about, it's Saturn ruled. And so it's a card about bondage, situations in life that we are bound to. And it looks like, there's one of those such situations in your life. Something to which you were bound. And in some sense, you may feel a slave to this area of your life. And yet you have very positive feelings about it. So, it looks like a bit of holding opposites towards the end of the month, and maybe it's more in general because that is a major arcana, and those stretch out for more than just, the month, I think, a lot. It's overall themes in our life. And then the end of the month, the Lovers reverse. So it looks like possibly a breakup, possibly just not seeing eye to eye with your love, your spouse, your lover, your boyfriend or girlfriend. Sometimes it's a falling out with a friend. Sometimes it is creative tension between people collaborating creatively. It can be any of those things with the Lovers reversed. So that's the tarot overview. And now I'm going to go through the planetary transits. January 6th, Mars enters Taurus. When Mars enters Taurus, it is entering your 5th house. This is the house of children. It's the house of creative projects, joy, fun, pleasure, romance, sex. All of those things are 5th house topics. There are many different topics. For some, it will be just one of those topics. For others, it will be all of those topics. And for others, it may be some combination thereof. But the 5th house is a significant house for you this month. And so it'll probably be something in that, in that house. And Mars, I'm just going to keep going. Mars in that house is like you want to shoot forward with the, what your goals are, what your desires are here. But, this month is Mars is having you have to pull it back. It has to be like methodical and planning and patience and slowness. And there may be obstacles or stubborn people around you or something that are making it hard to charge forward the way that you want. However, this is a still moving forward thing. And we're out of Aries, which is just like, for Capricorn, this is so much better. Mars is trine Capricorn, Taurus. So we're out of that Aries cardinal cross that you were stuck in for the whole last 6 months of last year. Anyway, sorry for getting a bit tongue-tied there, but I just want to keep pushing through. Okay, so January 8th, Mercury enters Aquarius. When Mercury enters Aquarius for Capricorn, it's entering your 2nd house. The 2nd house of money and resources, also the house of values and self-esteem. And this is a very important house to you right now. The Great Conjunction just met at 0 degrees Aquarius in that house, kicking off a new 20-year era in your life around these topics. And Jupiter is bringing a lot of expansion there this year. Saturn is bringing a lot more commitments and responsibilities and duties and obligations. And now here we are with Mercury in there, giving you a lot to think about, talk about, write about, communicate about. And Pallas Athena is there, which is making your strategizing skills great. And Aquarius is just brilliant. So this is a great time for doing your planning, your writing, your brainstorming around what it is that you want that 20-year chapter to look like, or, the year, the couple of years, but just kind of like setting those goals. And that can evolve over time, but it's a good time to be like thinking about it and talking about it now with these alignments. And so let's see what else. January 8th, Venus enters Capricorn. So that enters your 1st house. And you are probably going to want to be doing something to beautify or enhance your appearance. For some, it might be a haircut, or you might be doing something to just look better. It might be something you buy yourself, jewelry, clothes. Venus is adornment, Venus is beauty. And the 1st house is the house of self, and it's the house of your body. And so then what else? January 12th is the new moon in Capricorn. So that's your new moon too. So this is a real reset, a fresh new start. Again, it's like this whole time period with the Great Conjunction. We're kind of in this big, very distinct time that is the end of an era and beginning of a new one. And there's like many different like alignments all pointing back to that we are at this really turning point in time. And the new moons are all very rich and cosmic, fertile soil to plant the seeds of intention that we want to manifest in life. And Capricorn, of course, is great for the money and the business and the ambitions. And then it being in your 1st house, you can set intentions around yourself, around your body, around your thought processes, around the filter through which you see the world, around your identity. And so powerful new moon for Capricorn. If you do new moon rituals every month, you activate the entire wheel of your life through every year cycle with mindful intention. And, you know, the altar, you get candles, flowers, crystals, you bring in all of the elements, you bring pictures of the ancestors. It's very powerful and very soothing work to do. January 14th, Uranus goes direct. Uranus goes direct in your 5th house. That's the house of children, creative projects, sex, romance, pleasures, joys, all the 5th house things that I listed off earlier in the video. There could be a plot twist in this area. There could be a shakeup in this area. There could be a foundational shakeup of some kind in this area. Or there could be disruption. There could be rebellion. There could be an invention. You know, any of these are very Uranian. Uranus is unexpected though. And so, yeah, I mean, and I think for the collective, there will be some unexpected plot twists happening, but also for us in our own charts. January 15th, the Mercury pre-shadow begins. So yes, if you have any contracts to sign, any surgeries to have, any important emails to send, any important discussions to have, any important documents to sign, you know, anything new that you want to start, do it in the first 2 weeks of January. The second 2 weeks, we're entering the Mercury pre-shadow. And while Mercury is not retrograde yet, and it doesn't go retrograde until January 30th, the very end of the month, we are going to be in the bubble up period where foreshadowing is going to start. And we are going to start to get an idea of some of the things that are going to be probably completely haywire in the first 3 weeks of February. And this Mercury in Aquarius retrograde is, you know, Aquarius rules technology, and it rules our, you know, thoughts, the mind, concepts. And so, yeah, I'm going to talk more about this at the end of the video. But anyway, January 17th, Jupiter is square Uranus. This is a very exciting aspect. This has to do with sudden liberation, sudden expansion of new horizons. It can, on the collective level, have to do with iconic cultural moments. It can have to do with breaking records. And so it can also be very explosive and big. So it's an interesting aspect. And even though it forms exact in January, there's it will be kind of coloring the entire year. And for you, this is in your 2nd house of money and resources, and that 5th house of, you know, children or creative projects or sex and romance or pleasure and fun. So yeah, look at how those 2 areas of your life will create some sudden unexpected expansion or liberation. January 19th, Vesta retrograde, your 9th house. So Vesta entered your 9th house in November of 2020. In that video, I talked about this period because Vesta will be there for 6 months because she's going retrograde in January. And so this first 6 months of the year with Vesta there's an invitation. She's an asteroid, not a planet. You know, asteroids are, you know, they're gentle. It's an invitation for you, you know, to do something that Vesta believes would be very good for you, which is to devote yourself to your spiritual practice, a spiritual practice of some kind. And for everyone, that is different. It could be whatever. It doesn't, for some people, that is a religious practice, and that's a beautiful thing if that works for you. But for some people have other forms of spirituality. For some, it's connecting to nature. For others, it's whatever it is. But it looks like for Capricorn, it could be very beneficial for you in this new era to really cultivate that, because it can help keep your inner light alive and keep your inner flame burning. And it's just about, you know, what that is to you, what is sacred to you, what are you devoted to, and cultivating more of that in your life. And January 19th, the sun enters Aquarius. Again, this is back in the 2nd house of money and resources, also the house of values and self-esteem. You know, just highlighting this area where all this activity is for you. So, you know, you're thinking about it, you're talking about it, you're writing about it, you're strategizing about it, you're communicating with others about it. You know, You're finding yourself taking on more responsibilities and more obligations, and there's expansion. And so, exciting time in that area of your life. And also, let's see, where are we? The Neptune squares the nodes. So this is about more unseen forces that are at work. This is about a karmic turning point in your life. Neptune is an outer planet, so it has to do with the unseen. If you are a Neptunian type who has a strong Neptune in your chart, like an artist or an addict or a healer, you know, these Neptunian, you might be much more in touch already with what this is. It's been building since October. It is exact on January 26th, but it has to do with a karmic turning point. And it may be cloudy or unseen right now, but it should come into vision. And it involves your third house of communication with your sixth house of physical health and your 12th house of mental health. So, mind, body, spirit, you know, look to Vesta, you know, get that spiritual devotion. And January 28th is the full moon in Leo. That's in your 8th house, okay? So this money axis is very alive and well for Capricorn. The 8th house is the house of other people's money. So that can have to do with your spouse's money or your partner's money. It can have to do with your parents' money. This house has to do with wills, inheritances, settlements, loans, debts. And so any of those things can be highlighted during this full moon. This is a passionate full moon. It's a dramatic full moon. It's opposing a lot of things going on in your second house. So there's tension there, but a lot to learn and a lot of illumination at this time. And then January 30th, finally, Mercury goes retrograde. And Mercury retrograde is going to be in your second house. So again, you know, the first 3 weeks of February, there could be things going haywire in that department for you. The house of money and resources, also values and self-esteem. I believe because it's Aquarius, there's going to be internet stuff, you know, banking stuff, like, there's possible like hacking stuff going on. Internet shutdowns or complications, technology problems. So anyway, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a don't like. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share this video with other Capricorns. And follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. And thank you for joining me, Capricorn. Have a wonderful January.